Falcon fan? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to go over the off-season schedule for the NFL and how that relates to our Atlanta Falcons. So guys, you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So we're going to get right into the dates. The first date is coming up this week, the February 21st through March 7th. Teams may use the franchise tag or transition tag on impending unrestricted free agents, which means all the noise about guys like Lamar Jackson. Will the Baltimore Ravens franchise tag him? Probably yes. It depends on where they're going to use the exclusive of non-exclusive tag on him. If they use the non-exclusive, that means any team can go out and actually sign him to a deal. If they decide not to match that deal, they will get 2 first-round picks in return. If they use the exclusive tag, no other team can actually talk to him, and then the negotiation between him and the team will still go on. He has to July to actually sign that franchise tag. More than likely, he probably will, right? Because it's so much money not to sign for that 1 year. But he'll be playing on that 1 year contract again, which I'm sure he does not want to do. He wants a long-term deal with the team. But we'll have to see. So many fans thinking that that the bridges have been burnt between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So, that's why the rumors about him coming to the Atlanta Falcons have been out there. I'm going to go on record again saying that I don't like the deal, not because of cap. I don't like the deal because of just giving up so much of our future cap draft picks. That's what I don't like. I don't like the idea of us giving up so much draft capital. Because the Falcons are not just a quarterback away, we need to build this team as a whole. Yes, having your franchise quarterback is very important in this league, but just going out, getting a quarterback, and then having to try to fix it, in other ways, I don't like that way. I like the plan they got in place. We don't know who our franchise quarterback is right now. Hoping it's Desmond Ridder, but I understand the sentiment of trying to go out and get that franchise quarterback, but I just don't like the means. If he could be an unrestricted free agent, we just sign him outright. That'd be great. But since we got to give up draft capital to do it, I don't like that. Also, we got to be looking at during this time period, Caleb McGarry, will the Atlanta Falcons decide to franchise tag him? If not, he'll be able to go out and communicate with other teams, and if they pay him more, sort of like what Foye Oluokun got a couple of years ago. Of course, we didn't have money to pay him at that time anyway, but we do for Caleb McGarry. But if we don't like, to match what another team's offering him or something like that, he might be out the door. So I feel that we should re-sign Caleb McGarry at the right price, of course. Right now, we talked about that. He's going at about $17 million a year. Is that too high? Can't really say, but we do have the money to sign Caleb McGarry if we want to. Depending on if they're going to go ahead and put that franchise tag on him. So be looking out this week to see how many guys actually get franchise tag. Another guy we was talking about was a guy like Deron Payne. Will the Commanders go ahead and franchise tag him? If that's the case, he won't be one of the guys that we could potentially go after either. So this week coming up is a big week, not only for teams around NFL and their franchises, but for Atlanta Falcons, depending on what direction they're planning on going and what players that they might have in mind that they want to bring to the team. So we definitely need to be on the lookout for that. The next date will be the 28th through the 6th of March, which is the NFL scouting combine. This is the big day where guys actually go out and be able to rise up the draft board or actually go the opposite, right? So you look at last year, guy like Trayvon Walker actually was able to rise up because of his performance at the scouting combine actually made him be the number 1 draft pick, right? So those are the kind of things we're looking at for the NFL scouting combine. What guys can actually go out there and raise their stock, which guys can hurt their stock. We just have to look at that. Right after that, the next day, teams can colleges can actually start having their pro days for players and things like that. So we have to be on the lookout for that. So if guys didn't perform well at the scouting combine, they have opportunity to go, their pro day with their college and actually make up for that. So those are the kind of things we're going to be looking at the pro days. They go all the way up, right before the draft in April, and we'll have to take a look at all those guys. These are the times for especially these rookies where they've been working already. A lot of these guys probably been working since their last college game, getting ready for the scouting combine, the pro days, and things like that. So this is very important for these guys. The next date will be March 13th, which is the negotiating period right before the new league year. It's 2 days before that, March 13th. So at noon on March, you actually get to be able to see these guys, the clubs, start negotiating with teams and things like that. And they would, once they do that, you will start hearing about so many players actually agreeing to go to teams and things like that. It's not finalized until the new league year, which is at 4 p.m. on March 15th. But these 2 days are big. We're going to hear a lot of news. This is where the Atlanta Falcons had to really sit out for so many years because they never had enough funds to actually try to go out and get some key guys. They had to wait till the second wave or free agency for the most part. But this is a little different this time. This is where these guys can actually go out and participate in these negotiation period and try to get some of these big name free agents. Some of the guys, like we talked about, like I said, a Jesse Bates, who was spotted out with some of our Atlanta Falcons. Of course, they share some of the same agents and things like that. But he is a unrestricted free agent. And, he's one of the safeties that we've been talking about for, pretty much for a couple of years now, knowing that he was going to be up for a free agency period. So, Deron Payne is another guy that we talked about. Do we go out and, and covet any cornerbacks that's out there? Any other safeties? I talked about Jordan Poirier, another guy. So it's some guys out there in free agency that we definitely could start talking to on the 13th. So be on the lookout for that. The next date will be March 15th, which is actually the new league year. Clubs, they must submit their qualifying offers to their restricted free agents. If not, those guys become unrestricted. So we have to actually, think about that and make sure that these things going to have to be the case. Also, on that date, teams that's over the cap has to be under the cap, the 2023 salary cap. So it's a lot of teams out there. 2 teams in our division, the Bucks and the Aints. Both of those guys got to get up on the cap. So they're going to have to actually either restructure a lot of guys' contract or cut some guys to get up on that salary cap, which some of those guys could, potentially be free agents for the Atlanta Falcons, especially some guys from the Aints because, we brought over their defensive coordinator, some interesting guys that could be some salary cap casualties. And, like I said, the Atlanta Falcons have the funds to do this. Also, this is where the Atlanta Falcons probably go ahead and make their decisions on Marcus Mariota, see if they're going to actually bring him back. If not, that's $12 million that they get to recoup back into our salary cap. And another guy that could be a cap casualty as well. Not really a cap casualty, just a guy that they might not want to move forward with, and that's Casey Hayward. That $5 million will come back into the salary as well, which will put us up at $17 extra million going into this off season. So those are some big dates for us. We just need to take out on the new league year. My opinion that they're not going to go ahead and stick with Marcus Mariota. If so, he's not going to be at that dollar value. Definitely he probably would have to restructure his contract if he's coming back. But if you listen to a lot of conversations from Terry Fontenot. He keep mentioning 2 quarterbacks, which you talking about Woodside and Ritter, of course. So those are the kind of things. Be on the lookout for March 15th, or before that. We might hear something before that time frame to know if they're gonna decide to cut Marcus Mariota or not. And like I said, Casey Hayward, depending on the scheme, his age and things like that, do they want to go in another direction? Hint, draft, maybe going to get a draft, a cornerback, in that top 8 pick. So those could be some things we look at. So guys, these are some of the big dates that we're gonna look at within the next month here. Of course, you look at the free agency period. The Falcons going to get first time going to be able to participate in the first wave. Of course, there's always a second wave, and we can't ignore that as well because the Atlanta Falcons have made some good signings in that second wave of free agency because we didn't have any money. So be on look at that. We have a good pro scouting team that go out and find guys that can really help this team. What we want to do now is be able to build team guys that we won't have to have a new roster turnover every year, because once again this year it's going to be a new roster coming in. Yes, you understand, a couple of guys, 10 or so guys, but the last 2 seasons we've been having almost 20 new guys on the team each year, which is really hard to develop a good culture and chemistry with your teammates. So we love the direction the Atlanta Falcons have been going in with the draft the last 2 seasons. We need some veteran mixed in that as well. And then, of course, drafting good guys again this year. So those are the things that we definitely looking at. All this moving up into, of course, the OTAs, the draft period, and getting to the season. Everybody excited. I know I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. I know the owner excited. He mentioned that this is the most cap space he probably had since he's been an owner, which is insane just to think about that. We got to make sure that these guys do the right thing with that cap space. Don't go out and make dumb mistakes and bring in guys that don't fit the culture. That you at the end of the day, you really can't guarantee anything, but hopefully these guys go out and make the correct deals and bring in the right guys to fit what this team is trying to do. All the hype, about the quarterback position, soon it will be decided what the Falcons decide to do in that, that direction. And then hopefully we can start really talking about some this team, because right now, if you're looking out there, the fan base is so divided about quarterback position, best player available. Do we bring in this guy, that guy, this guy? We just got to trust this regime, which have gave us so much confidence in these first 2 seasons. With so little they had to work with. Now we got to be able to see what they can do when they got all the resources they need to improve the team, not just for 2023, but moving forward for the future of this franchise. So guys, let me know what you think about these dates, the offseason schedule, which guys are you looking for the Falcons to actually go after, and some of the guys, during the scouting combine and the pro days that you're looking for to see if they can actually get their stock raised that nobody's out there talking about. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.